Genetro will be telling us the players that he has invited. And some of the players that were touted to be wanting to switch allegiance, we hear that they have decided to pitch tent with England. Tosin Darabioyo, we hear he's saying that his biggest ambition now, there are two. One, to ensure that Fulham remains in the English Premier League, and two, to break into the English national team. Well, good luck to him with all the centre-backs that they have. Good luck to him if he can break into the Three Lions squad. So much happening in the ever-exciting world of sports. One of them, not pleasant, but this guy, he always makes news. We're talking about Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He has said some things about the king, LeBron James, who, of course, is a basketball superstar. So there is, a clash between basketball and football. We'll be giving you details. Zlatan Ibrahimovic says certain things about LeBron James, and LeBron James has responded. And we will be looking at some of the things that Zlatan said in the past, and then we'll also compare what he said now to what Lauren Ingram, a Fox News presenter who many see as racist, to compare what Zlatan is saying now to what Lauren Ingram said about LeBron James in 2018. Nobody's calling Zlatan a racist, but come on, some of the things that he said, and when you compare it to what he said in the past, you might want to ask, is he not being hypocritical with the comments that he has now said about LeBron James? Of course, what happened in the NBA last night, we'll give them to you, as well as professional wrestling. Well, I keep telling you that this man is Nigerian, has got Nigerian roots. He's from Benue State. Apollo Cruz, he's gone in to become the United States champion again. The Intercontinental champion. He has been United States champion in the past, and he's really gone in for that title. Well, guess what he did on SmackDown last night? He embraced his Nigerian roots. He said it. He mentioned that he is from Nigeria, and he mentioned his people, the thief people in Benue State. Well, you will hear him. We've got clips of him saying it. He came to the ring yesterday wearing the green, white, green of Nigeria. So you get to hear Apollo Cruz embrace his Nigerian roots. Good evening. A couple of minutes to evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to Saturday Sports Fiesta. It is live on 92.7 KFM Benin City. My name is Saliu Ibrahim. They call me the Sports Ibracadabra because I bring magic to sports presentation and analysis. Egosa Egbekan, the sports maestro, is also here. Let's begin from home. Super Eagles manager Gennett Rowe disclosing, the Nigeria Football Federation disclosing that Super Eagles manager Gennett Rowe will submit the list of players that will confront the Squirrels of Benin Republic and the Crocodile of Lesotho in a 2021 Africa Cup of Nations on the 22nd of March and the 30th of March. I was pretty sure of this date. That is supposed to be on the 22nd that will play the Squirrels of Benin Republic, but we were discussing it yesterday, and I had to confirm which dates that they were supposed to play, because they were talking about the Super Eagles going by boat and all that. That match is supposed to be on the 22nd, not on the 27th.
I think that's something that we have to look into, talking about the list that he has been asked to submit. The match taking place on the 27th, on the 22nd rather, and the other one taking place maybe a week later. That promises to be something that we should look at for, and maybe with optimism that maximum points should be getting from that from those matches. But the NFF, they've told us when to expect the list, and we know that it is a foreign legion that we mostly feed the list, maybe one or two home base, but I don't know if he has been convinced by one or two home base players talking about Troy, because he has talked about home base players, but sometimes he also talked about how it's going to be difficult for them to break into the team and also compete for shares with the foreign base. So it's something that we're looking forward to, but whether we like it or not, all we need is for the manager to get his ass right, and shouldn't be having so many foreign players, and at the end of the day we are struggling with a country like Benin Republic or Lesotho. It will be so embarrassing, because for you to win the African Cup of Nations for the 4th time, you have to get your best to represent you, and also to go out to win. So anything less than dominant display, I don't think it will be accepted from Nigerians and even from the players of Benetron.
Well, a close source to the Nigeria Football Federation revealed to Complete Sports on Friday that the list may arrive next week. We know that Nigeria is top of Group L on 8 points from 4 games, while Benin Republic, they are second on 7 points. So Nigeria will have to avoid defeat against Benin Republic. Otherwise, the Squirrel will be, one step ahead of Nigeria in the qualifiers. It will mean that if let's say Benin Republic beats Nigeria on the 22nd, God forbid, they will now go to 10 points. Nigeria will remain on 8 points. And they will know that a win in their next game will qualify them for the Africa Cup of Nations ahead of Nigeria, no matter what the Super Eagles do. So we'll wait and see what happens in this encounter. Then after that, Nigeria, of course, will play against Lesotho. So let's see what will happen in those games. According to the source, he said, we are still expecting the list of players from Super Eagles coach Genetro. Like, Nigeria will face Benin on March 22nd before confronting Lesotho on March 30 in a 2021 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. We don't want to leave any stone unturned because the team must qualify for the tournament. It will be a collective effort because we don't want to give Nigeria any excuses. Well, I think there are already so many excuses because by now we ought to have qualified. We must invite our best players for the 2 games and ensure that the players are well motivated to give out their bests.
Yeah, that's all we need. Just come with your best and make sure that the job is done. Then, if they win their first game, then if the other one is formality, it doesn't matter if he has to invite all his foreign players. He could invite some, they mix it up with the home base just to complete the qualifiers because we have already secured the tickets. So, Genetro has a whole lot at his disposal. So many players right now. We are trying to bring in some to switch allegiance. We are trying to also invite some to look at them. Terry Murphy of Lorient is banging in goals right there in the French League. So he has talked about him and other players. There is one player at Mukairu playing for Anderlecht at the moment. He's been linked to Tottenham Hotspur. So many of them. Aribo is on fire. Liam Balogun. He should get the best and he should get the tactics right. Not at the end of the day we start looking at excuses. Maybe the pitch was not good enough. Maybe the fans or 1 or 2 excuses. I think games like this, I don't think something that we have to look at. Even if they have been played at a sandy pitch, I'm sure the Super Eagles will have the advantage. All it needs to do is to put things right and get the job done.
So Nigeria wanting to qualify for that competition, but I think maybe 1 point will be enough for them. Looking at where the other teams are. What was this name? Sierra Leone and Lesotho. Yeah, I think Benin Republic are the only ones that can prevent Nigeria from winning that group. But going by what they have played so far, they should be able to qualify even if they finish second. The top 2 teams from each group will qualify. Apart from Cameroon's group, Cameroon has already qualified. Then the team that finished, that's the team that topped this group will qualify ahead of other teams. That is the team that finishes second here will be the only one that will qualify with Cameroon, because Cameroon have already qualified as the host of the competition. So even if they had not been topping the group, they will still qualify. Right now they've got 10 points from their 4 matches. So Nigeria and Benin Republic, as it stands, both of them going to the Africa Cup of Nations. So 1 more point for Nigeria will take us to 9 points. I think 1 more point should qualify Nigeria. Then you look at Sierra Leone, Sierra Leone and Lesotho. Lesotho has got 2 points. Benin Republic has got 3 points. They are playing against each other. So if Sierra Leone wins, they go to 6 points. Yeah, I think a draw should be enough to qualify Nigeria.
But then we should be looking at the draw. Right?
I understand, but I'm just looking at the mathematics. Since 2 teams will qualify, if let's say Lesotho, if they win their next 2 games, they go to 8 points. They go to 8 points. That's the most they can get, to 8 points. And Nigeria already on 8 points. I don't think they can. Oh, but that would mean that winning their next 2 games means winning 1 game against Nigeria, because one of those 2 games is against the Super Eagles. But guys, let's calm down. Nigeria will qualify. We can say Nigeria has qualified.
If they lose their next game, if they lose their next game, then it's over for them, because
it's already over for them. I don't see how. Well, mathematically they can look at it and say, okay, if we win the next 2, we'll be on 8 points, and we can qualify ahead of Benin Republic. You know, but one of those games is against Nigeria, and Nigeria will be at home in that encounter. So
if Nigeria wins that game, then that will be
2 teams will qualify. There are 12 groups, so 2 teams will qualify for the 24-nation tournaments. I think basically Nigeria has qualified.
Let's
but
just say maybe
just to make it absolutely sure, we need 1 more point.
If Nigeria beats Lesotho, then it's over. Then if Benin gets a point in their next game, that could also seal it for them. So a win for Benin and Nigeria will not seal it for the 2 countries. But Lesotho have mountain to climb. Even Sierra Leone, I don't think they'll make it with 3 points they've got so far.
Okay, so that is the situation. The Super Eagles of Nigeria almost there, but they've got 2 more matches to play, and next week the coach of the Super Eagles, Genetro, will be submitting his team list. So we'll get to see the players that are going to feature in those encounters. All right, Derby County, they have said that they are disgusted by the racist abuse that their player Colin Kazim Richards received on the social media following their draw with Nottingham Forest. Again, it's happening. And most times it is those who support the club who do this. The former Turkey striker who's 34 scored the Rams equalizer in Friday's 1-1 championship draw. Derby said they have 0 tolerance to discrimination, and they have reported the abuse to the authorities. It should be clear there is no place in sport or society for racism. This is what Derby County said in a statement. The abuse received by Colin resulted in him having to have a conversation with his young children to explain why in this day and age racism and discrimination exists. Social media abuse is sadly becoming more common, and it is all too easy for individuals to hide behind an account. This cannot continue.
Really disappointing that people are still coming out to abuse players on social media. Yes, it could be, even if it's the opponent's fan, perhaps was aggrieved with what happened getting that heartbreaking goal, because when he scored that goal, that is what gave them a point. Yes, everyone fights for the point, but the fact that the game ended 1-1, does that mean you go to social media and start abusing somebody? Even somebody has said that the Premier League, they are not doing enough, though the Premier League have also said they are going to ensure that the social media companies also gets to be sanctioned if they don't also do more. So everybody trying to put their hands on the table now to see how they can fight racism, but we're still getting people being racially abused on social media. It's not everyone that can take this thing. Not every player that has a thick skin. So some people just get depressed following what what they've read on the social media, and before you can say, okay, let me comfort them and all that, and see how it could be something else. So they shouldn't be thinking that, okay, because they are footballers, they've got thick skin. Not everybody you can tell some certain things to, and the person will be able to take it. People, they should try. Even the Premier League, the social media companies, they should try and do more, so that it doesn't look as if, okay, the knee they are taking, people are not even happy. Some people are not even happy with the knee. People like what's his name? Zaha not happy with taking the knee, but still, even before today's games we played, they took the knee, and to show that there's solidarity. But they have to.
They are just saying that, look, taking the knee is not doing anything. It seems because they are taking the knee, those who are supposed to take proper action feel that, okay, they are already taking the knee. That taking the knee on its own, and it's true, taking the knee on its own means nothing. But what the counter argument is that at least symbolism is important. Let it be. When people see them, let's say somebody has been living under the rock, he has not noticed footballers taking the knee, or he has been watching them and he's not just curious, he doesn't know what they are doing. But one day he's going to ask, why are these people kneeling down before every match? And then it will be explained to him that, oh, they are fighting against racism, and they are saying, look, we will not accept it in our game, in our sport. We are never going to allow racism. So that's why people kneel down. I know that act on its own cannot do anything. You have to take action to change it, but at least that's symbolism. You know, people doing something in unison. They are sending a clear message, a very strong message that we are not going to allow this in our sport. So we hope they do more to fight racism. All right, let's go to, well, it's a combination of football and basketball, and it has to do with the great Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He said something recently, and he was reacting to, you know, footballers or sportsmen and women who get active, who engage in activism. So he spoke about LeBron James. I respect him. LeBron James is one of the greatest basketballers ever, but he thinks that he is concentrate on sports and not do politics. Let's not take my word for it. This is what Zlatan had to say.
He's a phenomenal in what he's doing, but I don't like when people, when they have some kind of status and they go in and they do politics at the same time what they're doing. I mean, do what you're good at. Do the category you do.
Okay, that was what Zlatan Ibrahimovic said about LeBron James. Ordinarily, you think, okay, maybe he's just advising him and all that. But remember that a couple of years back, somebody told LeBron James to shut up and dribble. And then Laura Ingraham, one of the most popular, well, so you could say notorious anchors on Fox, she echoed it and told LeBron James and Kevin Durant, who gave their opinions on how Donald Trump, the then president of the United States, was handling things, and they said, look, they didn't like it. He was messing up the country and all of that. And Lauren Ingraham has said, just as somebody, there was another person before her, someone that many people consider to be racist too, told LeBron James to shut up and dribble. And she even questioned LeBron James' intelligence, because LeBron James went straight from high school, what you call secondary school here, to the NBA. She brought that up and had some nasty things to say about LeBron James having a political opinion. Now, listen to Laura Ingraham and compare what she said to what Zlatan said just a couple of days ago. This is Laura Ingraham speaking about LeBron James and Kevin Durant in 2018.
Must they run their mouths like that? Unfortunately, a lot of kids and some adults take these ignorant comments seriously. Look, there might be a cautionary lesson in LeBron for kids. This is what happens when you attempt to leave high school a year early to join the NBA. And it's always unwise to seek political advice from someone who gets paid $100 million a year to bounce a ball. Oh, and LeBron and Kevin, you're great players, but no one voted for you. Millions elected Trump to be their coach. So keep the political commentary to yourself, or as someone once said, shut up and dribble.
That's what Laura Ingraham said, and clearly you can see that this person is being racist. And some commentators in the United States attacked her. They said, look, this woman knows exactly what she's doing. Sure. She knows what she's doing. She knows that she's talking to the greatest basketballer in the world at this moment, and she knows that he is a black man who speaks for the black community. So when she's telling LeBron James to shut up and dribble, not say anything about all the discrimination, all the racism that is going on in the United States of America. Just in case you missed what Zlatan said, let me play it again. And in your head, try and compare what Zlatan said to what Laura Ingraham said.
He's a phenomenal in what he's doing, but I don't like when people, when they have some kind of status and they go in and they do politics at the same time what they're doing. I mean, do what you're good at. Do the category you do.
Exactly. I can't see any difference from what she said and what Zlatan Ibrahimovic said. And she said hers in 2018, she was criticized. So Zlatan ought to know better. Zlatan says he's not racist. He recently had a clash with Romelu Lukaku where words were exchanged. He said, well, he's echo what someone had said to LeBron James a couple of years back, and you know that person was clearly being racist. It makes others to start. This is how LeBron James responded. After this, we'll look at basketball and you see the performance of LeBron James. But he was asked about the comments that Zlatan made, and this was how he responded.
We're going to go away from the court for a second. Zlatan, the soccer player, said that he believes that famous people and athletes such as yourself shouldn't use their platform to do anything other than what they're good at in their athletic endeavor. As someone who has promoted the idea of more than an athlete and trying to empower players to use their voice to speak on their communities, do you have any response to what he said?
No, absolutely not. I mean, because at the end of the day, I would never shut up about things that's wrong. I preach about my people, and I preach about equality, social injustice, racism, systematic voting, voter suppression, things that go on in our community. Because I was a part of my community at one point and seeing the things that was going on, and I know that what's going on still, because I have a group of 300 plus kids at my school that's going through the same thing, and they need a voice. And I'm their voice. And I use my platform to continue to shed light on everything that may be going on, not only in my community, but around this country and around the world. So, if there's no reason, I won't say no reason, but there's no way I will ever just stick to sports, because I understand how this platform and how powerful my voice is. And he can just ask Renee Montgomery, if I would have shut up and just dribbled. Seeing that beautiful black woman today, be a part of a group where she's part of an ownership group now with the Atlanta Dream down in Atlanta. And it's funny he say that, because I believe in 2018, he was the same guy who said when he was back in Sweden, talking about the same things, because his last name wasn't a certain last name, that he felt like it was some racism going on when he was out on the pitch. Right? He did say that, right? Yeah. I thought he said that. So I speak from a very educated mind. I'm kind of the wrong guy to actually go at, because I do my homework.
Exactly. And LeBron James said, look, I do my homework. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, in 2018, he complained. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, his father is from Bosnia, and I think his mother is Armenia now. So he's not Swede originally. Yeah, he's a mixed race, and then he came to, he was born in Sweden and everything, grew up in Sweden. But he complained that he doesn't want to call it racism. We have the clip, we played. Now, he doesn't want to call it racism and all that, but there is a kind of latent racism in Sweden, and that they are treating him that way because his name is not a Swede name, because his name is Ibrahimovic. That's why they treat him that way. He even boasted that, look, I've won the Swedish footballer of the year 11 times. That's because he's the best player. Well, don't take my word for it. Let us listen to Zlatan Ibrahimovic speaking in 2018 about racism. But now you are telling somebody who is doing basically the same thing that you're doing, trying to bring attention to what he perceives to be racism in the society. You are telling him to basically shut up and dribble. Let us hear Zlatan Ibrahimovic speaking in 2018.
It's like this. What does the Swedish media do? They defend me, or they jump on and attack? They defend me or they attack me?
No, they defend you.
No, they still attack me, because they cannot accept that I am Ibrahimovic. If another Swedish player would do same mistake I do, they would defend him. But when it comes to me, they don't defend me. But it's okay for me, because this is what makes me stronger.
With all the
this is about
golden Swedish player.
This is about racism. I don't say there is racism, but I say there is undercover racism. This exists, I'm 100% sure. Because I am not Anderson or Svensson. If I rob a bank, they would defend me, I tell you. But they're not defending me in the way that they should. Because probably I am the best player through history in Sweden. What I did, nobody else has done. The golden ball in Sweden, the best that ever won it is two golden balls. How many I have? I have 11.
11 golden balls. It has never happened. What I did for football Sweden, it has never happened.
But maybe they think you are too much arrogant for them.
It doesn't matter. I'm the best there is.
You heard Zlatan Ibrahimovic said because his name is not Svensson or Anderson, that's why, and his name is Ibrahimovic. Yes, it's because his name is not a Swede name. That's why they are treating him this way. Now, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, his father is Sefik Ibrahimovic. He's a Bosnian Muslim, and he emigrated to Sweden in 1977. His mother is a Catholic Croat, from Croatia. Her name, Jorka Gravic, who emigrated to Sweden also, and then the couple then met, got married, and gave birth to Zlatan. So Zlatan in 2018, and I guess even till now, because he has even racism, that they don't treat him the way they treat some other players because of his last name is not Anderson or Svensson, because it is Ibrahimovic. So they kind of have not forgotten that his father is from Bosnia, not originally from Sweden, and that's why they are treating him that way. So you that has this background, you that has this history, I mean, why would you have a problem with LeBron James speaking out using his platform? Because LeBron James has this philosophy more than an athlete. It's not just because I am a footballer or I'm a basketballer or I am a Formula One driver. Look at what Lewis Hamilton is doing. He even said, look, this season I'm still going to continue my advocacy. Every time I am out there, I will wear a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. I will print the name of any black person or any ethnic minority person I feel has been maltreated by the society, and that's what he has been doing. So you can't tell a fellow athlete, if other people are doing it, maybe you might understand, I'm going to use my platform to call attention to the perceived injustice that I see in the society. Anthony Joshua did it. Anthony Joshua even said, look, black people, why don't you even support black businesses? Yes, when they were having the march for George Floyd, that's when they all came out, and he said it. He said, look, yes, you empower economy, because when you have economic power, they tend to respect you. So why don't we all come together and support our own businesses instead of patronizing these other people? And yes, they still discriminate against you. Why don't you do stuff like this? So for Zlatan to be saying that LeBron James should concentrate on basketball and not get involved in politics, it is really, really disappointing, to say the least.
And it is not just disappointing, it is disrespectful to someone like
LeBron James.
Yeah, four-time NBA champion. Even if he's not talking about going into politics, he's not trying to...
Even if he wants to go into politics, it is his right.
It is right, yeah.
If he wants to.
Filipino boxer, what's his name?
Manny Pacquiao.
He's a senator. So...
Vitaly Klitschko.
Yeah,
the same thing.
The same thing.
So
and the fact that he asked him to shut up, I think that's really disrespectful, because this guy is using his platform. Even the ladies, they are not left out. Naomi Osaka, Koriko Kogov, they are activists, and they have been voicing out just because of the race, what the whites are doing to the blacks. And instead of Zlatan to say it is not right for racism to continue and all that. Yes, I know he has talked about not being a racist, but from what he has said right now, one can point accusing fingers and say Zlatan is a racist and is racially abusing LeBron for telling him to shut up and face his work. Yes, he's doing his work very well, and he's also speaking for the blacks. Then what does that mean? Somebody has to, speak up. Everyone cannot just fold their hands and allow racism to continue, because if you do that, many people will be depressed following what they will be reading on the social media. Even the effort they are still trying to make, it's not, it hasn't really killed off racism stuff per se, but people are still coming out, raising their ugly heads and still trying to call people names because one player and just spoiled their party.
Zlatan should know that a couple of years ago, the N-word was written in graffiti on the gate of LeBron James. Yeah. Yes, because of his activism. Somebody wrote the N-word on his gate. And for you to now tell him he should concentrate on basketball, he shouldn't be talking politics and all that, this wasn't well thought out by Zlatan.
When is, what do you call it, this stuff that you put out there trying to... that's they made for him in trading when he was a statue, right? Yeah, when
his statue was vandalized. Yes,
he said so many things.
Yeah, because he joined the invested in the direct rivals of Malmo.
Yeah, he invested in Amabi instead of going to Malmo to invest, and he started saying some things. Now we are coming to attack another person who is fighting for everyone who is black, whether black or not, as far as you have been initially abused.
He has a school, and he mentioned it, over 300 students in his school. And he didn't have the best of education. As I said, he left the high school, as Laura Ingram was pointing out, he has 1 year left in the high school and left to play in the NBA. Yeah, he may not have gone to college, but today he can sponsor hundreds of kids to go to college. He may not be a professor, but he can produce professors, doctors, and engineers. He can produce so many people who will do well in academics. So I mean, he has done well with his life. He's a billionaire. He can afford to do that, and he could even have just made his money and not said anything. There are some sportsmen like that. Michael Jordan was accused of that he didn't really care about the black community. He usually just is indifferent when they talk about all these things. Tiger Woods is another athlete that people have complained about. In fact, Tiger Woods at one point now said something that even annoyed so many blacks, because he said he doesn't really see the racism. He has not been involved. He has not really. He doesn't really understand it. It's now that he's beginning to see what people are talking about. Everybody came hard on him, and like, no wonder you even went well, it is his choice. You love whoever you wanted. That when he was to get married, it was a white woman that he married, and even the ladies that he was dating, most of them. But he dated. Lindsey Vonn, the extreme sports woman, for some time, so there have been others that have been criticized for not speaking up for their communities, for not doing enough, but LeBron James has been doing that. So Zlatan Ibrahimovic should have thought about this very well before making this comment, because one, the racism that LeBron James has suffered from, and even the President of the United States, then Donald Trump, insulted him, said certain things about LeBron James. So for Zlatan to be saying this, knowing what has already been said in the past about LeBron James, knowing what he has faced, and knowing that he himself had complained in the past about what he perceived to be undercover racism in Sweden, for you now to be telling someone else to basically just be a basketballer and not have any opinion when it comes to politics, this didn't go down well with many people, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic is being called out. Okay, since we are already talking about LeBron James, let's go to basketball and see what he did. The LA Lakers, they finally snapped that 4-game losing run, and LeBron James helped them to beat Portland Trail Blazers 102 points to 93. LeBron James was their top performer, and this is the 49th time he's doing it in his career. 49 times he has been the top performer for his team in points, in rebounds, in assists, in steals, and in blocks. He did that for the 49th time last night. He scored 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists, while for Portland Trail Blazers, it was Damian Lillard who got 35 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists. So LA Lakers, they have won for the first time in 5 games.
Congrats to them. Even when I saw the fixture yesterday, I was like, would they be able to turn the table this time? Because AD and Schroeder
is still out injured.
Yeah, still out injured, and he has been the one. Though sometimes when you meet a stronger opponent, it affects the form that Utah Jazz were in before that game, they did not really give LeBron the chance, to shoot them to victory. But against Portland Trail Blazers at the Staples Center, maybe they felt, okay, this is an opportunity to sort of try and do the best, and also call on the boys to try and raise their game in order for them to be able to snap it. And I'm happy for them. They did it, not a dominant one, but at least winning, losing 4 straight matches, then now picking a win. I think this is something good. And for AD, maybe in the next 1 week, I hope he gets back to his feet, and I'm sure they are still going to make a winning run, because they are a very strong side when they are all complete, just like at the big three right now with the Brooklyn Nets. But all the same, he did what he knows how to do best, and for the fact that they rely on him for so many occasions to raise them, so he did that today, and against the Portland Trail Blazers, I was this morning, and that was great. 28 points, 11 rebounds. Come on, this guy can't stop scoring, and he just needs maybe 1 or 2 LeBron to make LA Lakers an unbeatable team. But all the same, I hope it comes back strong and they will go on the road.
Indiana Pacers took on Boston Celtics. The Celtics won this 118 points to 112. Top performer for Indiana Pacers was Domantas Sabonis. He got 24.6 rebounds and 9 assists, while Kemba Walker for Boston Celtics got 32 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists. Houston Rockets took on Toronto Raptors. The Raptors won this 122 points to 111. Victor Oladipo was the top performer for Toronto Raptors, 27 points, 5 rebounds, and for Houston Rockets, 27 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists, while Kyle Lowry was the top performer for Toronto Raptors, 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. So triple-double for him. Sacramento Kings beat Detroit Pistons 110 points to 107 points. Top performer was Jeremy Grant of Detroit Pistons. He got 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. For Utah Jazz, they played against Miami Heat. Well, they were beaten again, 124 points to Miami Heat, 116 points to Utah Jazz. Top performer for Utah Jazz was Donovan Mitchell, 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. While for Miami Heat, it was Jimmy Butler, 33 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. Phoenix Suns battled Chicago Bulls. The Suns won 106 points to 97. Chris Paul got 14.6 rebounds and 15 assists for Phoenix Suns, while Thaddeus Young for Chicago Bulls got 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. LA Clippers took on Memphis Grizzlies, and Kawhi Leonard was the top performer for LA Clippers. He got 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists, while for Memphis Grizzlies, it was Jonas Valanciunas who scored 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. And for Atlanta Hawks, they battled Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder won this 118 points to 109 points. Top performer for Atlanta Hawks was Clint Capella, 17 points, 21 rebound, 1 steal. While for Oklahoma City Thunder, it was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. For Golden State Warriors and Charlotte Hornets, Golden State Warriors won this 130 points to 121 points. LaMelo Ball for Charlotte Hornets got 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists, while Draymond Green got 11 points, 12 rebounds, and 19 assists. So triple-double for him. And then we told you this one earlier. LA Lakers beat Portland Trail Blazers 102 points to 93 points. Damian Lillard got 35.3 rebounds and 7 assists for Trail Blazers, while LeBron James 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists for LA Lakers. And the matches to expect tonight: Cleveland Cavaliers would battle Philadelphia 76ers. Minnesota Timberwolves versus Washington Wizards. New Orleans Pelicans taking on San Antonio Spurs. Indiana Pacers versus New York Knicks. Utah Jazz will take on Orlando Magic. Denver Nuggets versus Oklahoma City Thunder, and Dallas Mavericks will be battling Brooklyn Nets. There's a game going on now. West Bromwich Albion versus Brighton and Hove Albion. It is 1-1 at the moment, but so much controversy, VAR getting involved and the referee seems confused. But has he given a penalty in this encounter? I think he might have to brandish his cards, because there are so many players following him now, telling them, he's warning them, stay away from me, otherwise I'm going to flash the card. I think he's going to check the pitch side monitor. Even the players are just arguing. It's like a goal. Okay, the goal has even been taken up. The goal for Brighton and Hove Albion. Yeah. It's like there was a free kick which they took, but I think the referee is done with the. Did he go to check, or he went to
sometimes the drama
show a card to one of the coaches?
This is Graham Potter of Brighton and Hove Albion. Folding his hands.
I think they are going to retake the free kick, since that's what's going to happen. Yeah, the free kick will be retaken. So the goal has been chalked off. Let's see what happens here. Take two. West Bromwich Albion got their goal early on.
Yeah.
Okay, asking the West Bromwich Albion players to step further back. Then we'll see what Brighton and Hove Albion will do with this free kick. Lewis Dunk, their captains, holding the ball. The referee, they just keep arguing, the players and the referee. Well, it is even still first half, so let's see. Just so take two. West Bromwich Albion 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Free kick was taken earlier and they scored, but maybe it wasn't supposed to be taken that way. Here they go again. And this time straight to the goalkeeper. So it remains West Bromwich Albion 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. So that's what's happened in the world of basketball. So let's quickly go to Combat Sport and tell you what happened on Friday night SmackDown before we look at the matches that we have going on live. Okay, so it started with Roman Reigns coming into the ring, and then he said he doesn't think that it's a secret that SmackDown needs him, and then he said he's been the one carrying the company both at the Elimination Chamber, and he's done his best to really show up and operate at another level. Then he said that Edge kept the Elimination Chamber from being perfect by making their WrestleMania event official. You know that Edge attacked him after he won at the Elimination Chamber, and he told Edge, you don't want it, you don't need that in your life. Then he reminded him that Edge has got a wife and family to take care of, and because of this, he being the head of the table, does not want to hurt him. But then Daniel Bryan interrupted and then suggested that some fans, they called Roman Reigns cowardly for beating him down after he had won the Elimination Chamber. Then he issued a challenge to Roman Reigns for a match at Fastlane, but Jey Uso stepped up and he denounced the idea. Then while Roman Reigns was talking to Daniel Bryan, Jey Uso attacked Daniel Bryan, knocked him to the floor, and then he and Roman Reigns proceeded to beat him down. Then afterwards, we had Edge, who interrupted Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, and he said Daniel Bryan should not be getting a Universal Championship opportunity at Fastlane before him, despite him being the Royal Rumble, despite him being the winner of the Royal Rumble, and Daniel Bryan was in that Royal Rumble. After this, we had Rey Mysterio and his son Dominic. They took on Ortiz and Chad Gable. Ortiz and Chad Gable, they officially turned healed last time out after they visually assaulted Rey Mysterio, and they injured his rib. So we had this match again, and it was Otis and Gable who won. They beat the Mysterious Rey and his son Dominic. Then we also had this fight. Liv Morgan took on Tamina Snuka, and Tamina Snuka won this encounter. Bianca Belair, she, came to the ring. She had, before yesterday, she had not made her choice who she was going to face at the WrestleMania, whether it is the NXT Women's Champion or the Raw Women's Champion or the SmackDown Women's Champion. But yesterday, apparently, she chose the SmackDown Women's Champion. She came to the ring, and then she was joined by Adam Pearce and Sonia Deville. But before she could make her decision, Reginald, the sommelier of Carmella, he interrupted and he attempted to sway her. But Sasha Banks came into the ring, and she said she took exception to Bianca Belair calling herself the EST of the WWE. And as we've explained to you, EST means, the EST, the superlative that you add at the end of most words. For instance, fast, faster, fastest. So she says she is the EST. She's the fastest, she's the strongest, she's the smartest, and all those SSS that you can add. So Sasha Banks said for Bianca Belair to be calling herself the EST of WWE, she's disrespecting her because she is the one who is the best in the WWE. And then Bianca Belair then said, since you came here and you are telling me that you are the best, it means that you are challenging me. So because of this, I accept your challenge. You are the one that I'm going to face at WrestleMania 37. The Street Profits battled Sami Zayn and King Corbin, and it was the Street Profits who won this encounter. Then Cesario had this segment with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has been trying to recruit some disciples, that will back his vision at SmackDown, and then he said that he has a vision, and he has been doing some things on the social media and is getting traction before Cesario came. So Cesario, Seth Rollins attempted to get Cesario to join him. He appealed to him that if he joins him, then he's going to ensure that he achieves the kind of success that Seth Rollins, has achieved. But Cesario apparently did not accept, because he beat down on Seth Rollins, and then he put him in a swing, and then eventually hit him with an uppercut. Then he left the ring, and as he was leaving, he met Daniel Bryan and wished him a good luck. So we had that main event, Daniel Bryan taking on Jey Uso. Daniel Bryan first has to beat Jey Uso, and then he is going to take on Roman Reigns at Fastlane before WrestleMania. So they had this encounter, but eventually both of them were out of the ring. The referee tried to get them back in, but eventually he had no choice but to call for the bell, and then it was a double count out. But immediately this was done, Roman Reigns came to the ring and attacked Daniel Bryan. Then he put him in the guillotine and then choked him to sleep. So that was how the show ended. But before that, we had Apollo Crews. I left this for last because because of what Apollo Crews did. Apollo Crews came to the ring and said, look, he's not going to accept being someone that he is not. That he is from Africa, he's from Nigeria, and his country and his people are very rich and very strong and everything. Well, he said this before his fight with Shinsuke Nakamura, but eventually it was Apollo Crews that defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. But let us just hear Apollo Crews talk about his Nigerian roots and how he has decided to embrace it. And just listen, you hear him talk about the Tiv people from Benue State.
A lot of people have been wondering what's been going on with me lately. Why the sudden change? They're saying that's not the Apollo Crews that we know. Well, if I'm honest, you really don't know anything about me. You see, for far too long, I've been nice. For far too long, I've been humble. I've been respectful, and in return, I haven't received that same respect. And being who I am and who my family is, well, you see, that just becomes unacceptable. You see, I'm not from the hood, and I'm not from suburbia. I'm from Nigeria. I am a real African American. This is who I am. This is the real me. My ancestors are Nigerian royalty. My great-grandfather, Akume Uha, he ruled the Tiv nations. And he controlled some of the richest lands in Nigeria. He spent his days draped in gold, and his nights he spent with his 5 wives. Can you imagine that? 5 wives. 5. His word was law, and his power was feared. This is who I am. This is what I represent, and this is what I stand for. These colors, this is what they mean. Wealth, dominance, and power. Big E found that out firsthand last week, because just like my great-grandfather said, if your enemies defy you, you show them the steel. You see, Big E had the audacity to tell me to go back to catering, but I didn't go back to catering. You know what I did? I went back to my roots so I could say this to you how my grandfather would have said it. I showed Big E the steel, and I guarantee you he would never disrespect me again. And as for my opponent tonight, Shinsuke Nakamura, you will suffer the exact same.
Now Shinsuke Nakamura interrupted Apollo Crews, but eventually that fight ended with Apollo Crews winning. So he has embraced his Nigerian roots. Said his father was his great-grandfather, and his grandfather was a king, and he ruled over the Tiv nation. And he came to the ring yesterday draped in green, white, green. Wow. Yeah, so these are Nigerian colors. So at that time it represents strength, dominance, and power. And then he attempted to speak. I don't know why they any attempt to speak in African accents, they tend to do that Wakanda kind of, you know. I thought even Trevor Noah, you know, attempts to speak in Nigerian accent, and I'm like, that doesn't sound Nigerian. Come on, we know how we speak. Well, maybe because you cannot have a Nigerian accent in quotes, you know, because we have so many ethnic nationalities. The way Yoruba people talk is not exactly the way Igbo people talk. The way Igbos talk is not the way Hausa talk. The way the Hausa talk is not the way the Benin people talk. The way Benin people talk is not the same as the Urobo people or the Shekire people or the Isoko people and all that. So we've got different, you know, tongues, and that's why the old national anthem, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. So there is unity in our diversity. But of course he attempted to speak the way they think Africans speak, and then he put that African accent that he was going to show Big E his power and everything. So Apollo Crews embracing his Nigerian roots, and wishing good luck. We hope he too becomes world champion the way Israel Adesanya, the way Anthony Joshua, the way Kamaru Usman. All these guys embrace their Nigerian roots, and they are today dominant in the martial arts world, in the world of combat sports. You know, and they are world champions. So congratulations to all of them. Let us see how Apollo Crews is going to develop in his career. This new path that he has chosen, the path of a heel. You know, he used to be a face that these likable guys and everything, but he felt okay, he wasn't getting enough push, and now they've made him a heel. But look, there's really nothing wrong in being heel, because you even need it. You need a top heel and you need a top face. The top heel in the WWE now, you can see clearly, is Roman Reigns, and for many years Roman Reigns was a heel. He even started as a heel when he joined the Shield. But even when he was a heel, people loved him in the Shield, and that later they turned the Shield to be faces. But when the Shield broke up, they just kind of wanted to push Roman Reigns to be the face of the company and everything, and the fans did not quite like that, because they felt there were others who have worked harder who deserve the push, and so they did not really take to Roman Reigns, and it was suggested that they should turn Roman Reigns heel, that the WWE should turn Roman Reigns heel, but they resisted for so long. But maybe because of this pandemic and everything, they've turned Roman Reigns heel, and people feel that he is doing his best work since he left the Shield. Even though he was champion as a face, but this is the best version of Roman Reigns that we are getting now that he has turned heel. So maybe the same thing will happen with Apollo Crews turning heel. Perhaps it will be the best thing for his career. And there is virtually no wrestler that has not at one point or the other been heel. Even somebody like Hulk Hogan, one of the most beloved wrestlers all over the world, but when he turned heel, people still loved him, people still followed him. If you follow the career of The Rock, he came as a babyface, and they loved him initially, but when the WWE attempted to push him, they wanted to push him the way they attempted to push Roman Reigns initially, people turned on him. And even when he's coming to the ring, they are chanting Rocky sucks, Rocky sucks. And there's only one time he came to the ring, they were chanting die, Rocky die. And then he went by himself and told Vince McMahon that, look, let me turn heel. And Vince did not want that, because, of course, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, was the son of Rocky Johnson, and he felt, okay, let us keep you this way. And I said, no, don't worry, I've got it. And then he turned heel, and suddenly he just exploded. People loved the heely character of The Rock, and eventually when he became so popular as a heel, they made him turned him back into a face, and he just caught on, and today he is one of the greatest ever wrestlers to have ever done it in the ring. Okay, let us go to football now and look at what's happening. We had some matches yesterday too. We'll look at those and look at the matches that are live right now. In the Spanish La Liga, Levante took on Athletic Bilbao. That match ended in a 1-1 draw. That was yesterday. In the German Bundesliga, Werder Bremen 2, Eintracht Frankfurt 1. In the French Ligue 1, Rennes 1, Nice 2. These were the matches that were played in the top leagues yesterday. Let's look at what's going on right now.
All right, earlier today, starting with the English Premier League, Manchester City beat West Ham United 2-1, and it's for 5 minutes right now. Another time, West Bromwich Albion 1, Brighton Hove Albion 0. Later at 6:30, Leeds United will take on Aston Villa, and Newcastle United will play host to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And in the Spanish La Liga Santander, earlier today, Eibar and Huesca played at a 1-0 draw, and it's 34 minutes of play. Sevilla, they are trailing Barcelona 1 goal to 0. And at 6:30, Deportivo Alaves will be at home to Osasuna, while Getafe will take on Valencia at 9 p.m. Then the German Bundesliga is Bayern Munich 2, FC Cologne 1, Borussia Dortmund 2, Arminia Bielefeld 0. VfB Stuttgart 3, Schalke 4 0. Wolfsburg leading Berlin 1 goal to 0. Then at 6:30, RB Leipzig will entertain Borussia Mönchengladbach. And the Italian Serie A, Spezia are playing at a 2-2. Okay, they are playing the 2-2 draw right now with Parma, and it's 88 minutes of play so far, 2 minutes of regulation time. Then Bologna